What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Suburban Nerd. This is a channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news. Well, this is also the show where I give my reviews on today's TV shows. Well, today's TV show is, as you can see, it's Supergirl. And it is Season 3, Episode 11, named Fort Rozz. If you don't know what Fort Rozz was, then you haven't been watching Supergirl. Well, you might have, but you probably, don't pay attention to details. Basically, Fort Rozz was a place where her mom was a prison for all those, super powered bad guys. In the first season of Supergirl that was on, I believe it was CBS or Channel 4, but, or NBC, I forget which one it is. But, basically, it was on Earth, and all these bad guys started breaking free, and that was pretty much season 1 where she was capturing all these bad guys. And then all the way at the end of season 1, I believe, she took it out of the ground and pushed it all the way into the sky and out into space. And it happened to have a person or priestess that has information about Rain. Rain is a new bad female or villain that has showed up that whooped Supergirl's ass. Everyone, if you're watching this, you all know that's what happened. Supergirl got her ass kicked. And so basically, what this whole episode was about was them getting their way to Fort Rozz, her gathering up some villains or anybody that she thought had powers that could actually help her, and they went over to the ship, and shenanigans ensued. Well, first I'm gonna start off with her team is Saturn Girl, which is Mon-El's wife now, which, Kara still feels a certain way about that because she used to go with Mon-El. She got Livewire, which she found her working at like some diner on the corner, and the reason being is because she's smart, so she realized that Rain's killing everybody that's bad, every villain, so she figured she'd get herself a job, and Kara called her on that, and she was like, yeah, well, what else am I gonna do, And Kara said, yeah, come help me go get some information. She was like, I don't like you. And Kara's like, but I know you have some good in you, and it'll be helping because you gotta help me take her down. That's what, if you don't want to be doing this, help me take her down. So and then she reluctantly joins. Then, I didn't know what other person they're gonna have on the team, but they ended up getting Sai, which is this girl who I know I've seen her somewhere. I just can't remember where I've seen her. But basically, she talks very proper and very weird, and she basically can give you your worst fear. She puts in your head, and you start freaking out, and you have your worst fear, and she gets her on board. Meanwhile, you've got the Rain, which the actual other name of her real personality with the daughter goes over to Kara's sister's house. And just goes and lets her stay over there babysitting while she goes to work. That's what she's pretty much been doing the whole season. And then Kara gets called away, to go back to the ship. And that's when she sees the whole crew. And that's where they kind of found out where all this thing is going on. But shooting straight off to the ship, they all get together. They go over there. And as soon as they get there, there's already issues. They go in there. The ship's going a little close. It's turbulence. Brainiac number 5 is he's acting like he knows everything. Well, he really doesn't know everything because if you were listening to the episodes before, apparently there was something that happened where they lost a lot of information from the 21st century. So they don't know. Well, he doesn't know as much. He may be super intelligent, but he doesn't know history. He doesn't know what's around and what's to utilize. He's so used to advanced technology that he doesn't know how to utilize lower technology, really. And that's where Win comes in with the win. Because when that turbulence comes around, Brainiac's trying to figure out, he's got his head, and he's not doing nothing. Meanwhile, jumping back, you've got Kara's sister dealing with the whole fact that Maggie texted her and actually freeze the text and on the TV to see what it was, and basically, she tells her later, but it was basically Maggie asking her to, because she's about to go out of town, or go out of country, and she needs her passport, she doesn't have it, could she go look around for it? If anything, just mail it to her, and this is her new address. And then Maggie's with the daughter at the time, and they kind of vibe, and she tells her that she didn't think it was going to hurt so much, but she still feels sad. And the girl tells her, like, yeah, she feels sad too. Like, there's this girl that's been bullying her on her phone, and she's like, I can help you with that. They go to the girl's house. She stands up, and she's like, yeah, I'm with the FBI. We're cracking down on bullying, cyberbullying, and you should probably be going to jail. I'm sorry, but you've already broken like 3 rules. The girl starts begging, pleading, saying like, no, I promise I won't do it. She was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to talk to your parents. The girl's like, please, I swear I won't do it. And he was like, yo, apologize to the girl, and I don't ever want to see you bullying again, or else we're gonna have to come and get you. So the girl was kind of shook, but that was one of the kind of good funny things about that. Going back into the spaceship, Kara goes with Livewire and them go searching through. And then that's when they kind of get the turbulence starts hitting really bad, and then Psy sort of messes up with Saturn Girl's head or whatever. So then they put back on this little inhibitor to take away her powers, and they leave her and Saturn Girl to try and fix the issue, and then Kara and Livewire go. While they're going, that's when Livewire and Kara start bonding, talking about, oh, yeah, Saturn Girl, she's the wife of my ex-boyfriend. She was like, whoa, I bet you hate her. Well, I don't hate her, it's not her fault, blah, blah, blah. Then that's when all of a sudden this smoke comes, and these weird, freaky-looking monsters come through with the mask looking like something out of Scream, and they whisk Kara away. Livewire is there, and she gets hit into this thing to get electricity, so she gets powered up, and then they go and try and take her out again. She shocks, breaks the glass, everybody gets sucked out. She gets sucked out into space, but she turns the electricity, goes back into the ship. Voila, she's good. Meanwhile, Kara gets pulled off, and she wakes up to the whispers, and she sees it's the priestess they were looking for. She asks the priestess. The priestess pretty much tells her, there's about the 2 more. It's what's an impurity and pestilence are the 2 other ones that they're gonna have to find. While this is going on, you've got Rain that went back to her fortress of solitude, which is a bad version of solitude, and then the hologram, like the Star Wars hologram, tells her that basically that she's going to. Sorry, I have to put that back on. Yeah, that she has to go and stop Supergirl because she can't, get all the information. I don't know how, but somehow Rain gets over to the ship just in time, and she goes, and that's when the priestess is like, oh, finally, you're here. And when she turned her back, I'm like, Rule 101. You always know that person's going to die when they turn their back to a really bad person. All of a sudden, you see the red beam, and yeah, she's killed. Don't know why she's killed, I guess so she wouldn't give any more information, or Rain just doesn't give a F about anything or anyone. But with all that, Kara's like, yo, how do you have power? And Rain's like, my power doesn't come from the means of puny people like you. And that's when she pretty much starts about to go whip ass on Kara, but then that's when Livewire saves her, kind of shocks her, and then Livewire and her start fighting back and forth. Because, she's sort of like, I guess she grew a bond with Kara, but she starts shocking her and doing all these things. Nothing's happening. She's shooting her electricity, Rain's shooting her beam, and then they're getting really close to each other, and then that's when Rain grabs her. Then she goes and starts shocking Rain's arm, but it ain't doing nothing. She concentrates all her power in the explosion system flying, and she's kind of like weakened at that point. She's on the ground. Livewire's on the ground. Then that's when Rain is about to go and finish her off. Carl was like, "Yo, don't do that. No, I'm the one you came after. I'm the one you came after." So then she was like, "Well, I'll let your friend watch you die." And gets her eyes ready. And then that's when all of a sudden Livewire jumps in front, takes a shot. And I was at the point, it's like, damn, you started kind of liking Livewire. And so she took it, and she pretty much, sorry, but spoiler alert, she died. Because this is a recap, so I'm telling you what happened. And Kara is kind of sad. But right before she goes to take her, Rain is about to go and finish off Kara. And that's when Psy comes in to save the day. Does a brain blast on her, whatever that you call that thing, which weakens her. brings back the girl, the regular lady. Can't remember their name at the time, but you know what I'm talking about. So and then she goes, and then she starts remembering her daughter, and she starts screaming, and she was like, "Where am I? What's going on? Like, Supergirl, why are you here? What's going on?" And then that's when Rain takes back over. She flies off. They go back to the headquarters, and Kara's kind of feeling sad. She just because Sai helped her, she's like, give her a nice room, and Sai's like, yeah, sorry for your friend's loss and all that whatnot. And then she goes off. They're smiling. You think they're kind of cool, back cool again, because Kara saw the good in her in the first place. And then that's when, or she hoped for the good at least, because you ain't got no more options. So she goes and talks to Mon-El. Mon-El's like, I'm a lot smarter than I was before, because he is. It's been like 7 years for him, I believe. 6 or 7 years since the last time he saw her. For her, it's only been months. For him, it's been years. That's why he got married. And he tells her, she says, yeah, she losing Livewire. She feels like she could have got through the rain, but she didn't. And then he was like, well, you got through to someone. You got through to Livewire, so that's what matters. You got through to someone. So that's why, like, being the leader, going into battle with people, you lose people. But it's the people you touch that you can be there for that really matter. Everyone else matters, but don't dwell on what you've lost. Dwell on what you gain. And that's what I take from that. And she was like, yeah, you are actually smarter. And that was pretty much it. But then all the way at the end, you have this little thing where you see these two girls walking, talking about you get out of the cubicle. The car is driving all crazy, swerves. She puts her friend out the way. She gets crushed in between the cars. And that's when I was like, oh, she's one of the Purity or Pestilence. I'm thinking she's probably going to be Pestilence. She goes and pushes the car off, and then she looks at her hands, and then you see a little glow in her eyes. I can't remember if the girl that became Rain did that, if the eye thing happened the first time when the beam fell and then she saved her daughter. But hey, who knows? I can't quite remember. I'd have to go back and check. But that's what she's going to be the first one. And probably in the next episode you might see something. You might not see it for the next 2 episodes. I don't know. But sooner or later you're definitely going to see. And I'm betting she's going to be Pestilence. Because they're probably... Sorry, but they're probably going to make the black person Pestilence and then make a white person Purity. I'm sorry. That's what I think. That's just what I think they're going to do. If they don't, then hey, that's great. That's great. Maybe I'm the one that's being biased or being, racist to myself, to people. But for some reason, I just feel that shows are going to go that way. Anyways, that's my review of Supergirl, Season 3, Episode 11, Fort Rozz. And that's what I do. If you liked what I talk about, if you liked, me giving this review, comment down below. Tell me what you thought about it. And remember to share, and tell your friends. Remember to subscribe. Check out my last Supergirl review. And check out my review of all these TV shows that I watch. So remember, I'm Wes Grat. You've been watching Suburban Nerd. And you've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next review.